All right. Greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How y'all feeling? Good to see you. We're live on Rockfin, YouTube, and Callin. You can support the show at buymeacoffee.com/blackbearnews, or Rockfin tips are also cool. You can also give me a super chat on YouTube if you so like. Good to see you all. Yeah, just covering a couple of things today. Just a couple of things today. What's up, people of Rockfin? How you doing? There's actually a bunch that I didn't cover yesterday. That we might get to. We might just get to it. Uh-oh. What's this? What? Get out of here. What? I had a tweet up. Did it get deleted, or was it deleted by the author of the tweet? I wonder. Say what? Okay. Well, here's the same tweet. That was just told to me that wasn't there anymore. So I don't know. I'm confused. A pack of angry bears. Arg. Start with this. Sabby Sabs with Chris Hedges. Should people still vote for Biden in 2024? What say you? Doesn't matter. Will Joe Biden still get? I don't know. How many votes was he supposed to get? Was it 8 million? 80 million? Is anybody? Even if nobody voted for Joe Biden and or the other person, would they still tell us that he got so many votes? I don't know. Let's listen to this.
The choices are Joe Biden and Trump, or a Trump-like figure. Let's just go with Ron DeSantis. Should people, given everything that has happened under Biden's presidency, do you feel that people should still vote for Joe Biden again, and why or why not?
Well, I mean, I was Ralph Nader's speechwriter. I have long tried to work to build third-party movements. We haven't gotten very far because the two parties conspire quite viciously against us. And in fact, the Democrats are worse. They challenged all of Nader's voting lists in courts to run up his legal bills. I think they got up to about $1 million or something, locking him out of the debates. So we're going to have to take that very grim and difficult step if we are going to actually build an alternative base. At the beginning, it's going to be hard. We're not going to get a lot of support. In fact, we're going to be vilified. But it's what we should have done a long, long time ago. I mean, Ralph never thought he would win. I mean, the Progressive Party, for instance, powerful political party at the turn of the century, never won, but it got big enough that it pressured especially Teddy Roosevelt and others, to respond. Eugene V. Debs, who I think at the height got about 6% of the vote, again frightened the Democrats. And that's what Ralph wanted, 5, 10, 15 million people to put pressure on the Democrats to begin to respond to the concerns, the rights, and rectify the injustices. So I think it's only going to come from the grassroots. And it's of course, they're going to work overtime to demonize, as they have, all of us who step outside of the system and attempt to organize to push back. It's not done quickly. This is my frustration with Bernie Sanders, where he calls for a political revolution as if we're going to get a political revolution in an election cycle that ends with him telling us to vote for Hillary Clinton. It ain't going to work like that. It ain't going to happen. It doesn't happen that way. And, we've got to go back and look to our radical roots, the Wobblies, all of these great radical militant Communist Party, let's be frank, that's been written out of American history. We have to replicate their kind of organizing and their kind of militancy if we're going to wrest back control from these corporate oligarchs that are frankly destroying the country and flirting with a third world war.
That's right, and we see there's already an article out now from The Hill saying that anyone that pushes third parties should be side-eyed. So that's news for you guys there. But Chris,
I don't read that stuff. I just ignore it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving you guys the heads up. That's already coming around the bank. But Chris, thank you so much for your time.
Sure, Sabrina. Yeah.
Good words from Chris Hedges. It's about the pressure. Do we have time to make these changes? Do we have time to apply the pressure? Do we have minimal time? Because the jaws are slowly closing or maybe more quickly closing. But pressure works. I said it once and I'll say it again. I think that the people in charge do respond to pressure. I mean, if enough people even just get upset about something on social media, they seem to be able to recognize that and react to it. Does it really solve any, are we solving any structural problems by getting mad about a particular subject on social media? I don't know, but obviously we need to solve some deep structural issues. And we don't seem to have the muscle that we used to have to create the pressure that's needed to. There was a time when the government responded to public pressure to the point where they kind of overhauled capitalism. And then through the decades since then, that time, the capitalists, the oligarchs, the people in charge have succeeded in slowly chipping away and pushing back that overhaul, pushing back those safeguards, pushing back those boundaries, and creating a situation again where people are in a position where they are really struggling and not getting very much from the system. It's weird to me that I don't. Anyways, it's weird to me that journalists even look at those times. Those are pretty significant things that happened in the middle of the 20th century or earlier mid 20th century. Were pretty radical socialistic, you can even say that, ideas were put forward to, kind of try to even the playing field for people. And that happened because people got angry and got out in the streets and got in front of business as usual and created a lot of public pressure. It didn't happen because people opted out, although that is a way to create pressure. Opting out is a way to create pressure. Like, if enough people don't want to do something, it's hard to make them do it. But I don't think that's the only, that isn't the only route we have. But what we have, what we live in today is one of the largest, most powerful empires that ever was on the face of the earth. And if all empires fall, and as history has told us, they generally do, right? If we succeed, we're going to be it's the first time. Also, if we succeed, it'll be the first time that one animal or population of a particular species on the planet Earth has succeeded in outwitting carrying capacity of an environment. It's one of the things that disturbs me is that people are out there trying to tell you that the climate change thing is a big old fat hoax, and that will probably be the thing that unravels it all. That will be the thing that will surely make it difficult to come back from this. Even if we could come back politically, even if we could come back as a society or as a species, even if we could, suddenly wake up to it all and transcend our issues as a species, are we going to be able to transcend what we've already done to the planet? There's an ice storm. There's obviously lots of cold, snow, ice. There's been a thing that's been happening this last week. It's created a lot of problems. This from British Columbia. This is a rare one for us. This isn't the Arctic Ocean or Northern Atlantic. This is an ocean beach in Vancouver, British Columbia, having ice shoved onto it. This person is saying this is rare. This is a rare thing. Because of extreme weather. And how much extreme weather can we withstand before things start to fall apart? Services start to fall apart, start to fail. Infrastructure starts to fail. How much can we, how much can we survive? How much can we stand? I'm not necessarily showing this. I wasn't planning on reading this article from George Sacroclides. It's been a while since I read something from George. It's a good thoughts from George, but kind of long. I don't want to spend the whole show reading this. I just kind of wanted to take this quote from this retweet from Mark Bevis. Humans are the only one out of 8 million species that offer absolutely nothing to this planet. I don't know if we offer absolutely nothing. I just feel like that's a very black and white statement. We offer nothing. We have some part in it. So I have to push back on that. But not only would Earth not miss humans if they were extinct, our absence would bring instant relief similar to the sudden death of a dictator. That part I agree with. just on a physics level, I do think that we would bring instant relief on some levels. Or if we were gone, it would be, nature itself would respond in a very positive way. Do I think that's what needs to happen? I don't know. I'm not one of those, like, I hope that we all go away soon kind of people. I'm not. I hope we wake up and stop devouring the planet kind of people. That's where I stand. I don't like what we're doing. That doesn't mean I think the answer is that we all go away, but nature will have an answer for us. That's what we know, is that nature will have an answer. and the answer will be something that we don't necessarily like. I don't know how long we can fool Mother Nature. I don't know how long we can fool Mother Nature. Mother Nature is pretty omnipotent. It's hard to live outside of the laws of nature. It's hard to skirt the laws of nature. It's hard to outwit the laws of nature. It's very difficult to do that for long. And that's currently where we sit. We currently sit on the precipice, or over the precipice, of overshoot. We have skirted, outwitted, thwarted the laws of nature for a long time. And nature is going to let us know how far over the edge we've gotten. I wish it weren't so. I don't wish the end result on anyone, but we don't seem to be willing to actually take honest stock of ourselves, and we don't seem to be willing to have conversations around this. We only seem willing to demonize people who want to have conversations around this, because we're the best. And how dare you say anything different? But anyways, I'm not going to read the article just because I don't have time. But it was an interesting post and an interesting quote. All right. I'm going to take a call from Phantomas real quick. First of all, I'm going to check out the coffees. I don't think we have any coffees as of yet today. And no Rockfin tips as of yet, but these are both really great ways to support the show. Or Patreon is cool. All right, Phantomas, how you doing?
So I did want to mention one other way, which I think that will help fund your show if you decide to do it. Discord is announcing subscription tiers for their channels now, so anyone can. You keep 90% of the profits from Discord, so you might want to look into that if you ever.
Okay.
If things decide to get dicey and they start shutting down platform after platform, who knows?
Yeah. Well, I'm on Discord, but I don't really use Discord all that much. I'm not super fan of it, but
well, I think it's gonna. In my opinion, I think it's gonna pick up. It's gonna escalate in terms of numbers and volume when the more and more we have issues with sharing information and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Thank you. I mean, I'm always kind of looking for different platforms and avenues to push my show out.
Yeah.
I always run up against the wall of like how much time and how much bandwidth do I have to actually manage these different platforms. So I can only manage so many things at a time. I
That is
just
definitely the issue. I did want to bring up something that I don't know if you saw going around. Did you see the newest Joe Rogan clip from yesterday?
yeah. But was it the guy? Yeah, I actually was going to play that. I meant to play that. I probably will play that.
Oh, okay, okay.
The one about the guy who is a junk food a doctor who eats a bunch of junk food.
No,
But one,
that's not the one I'm talking about.
oh,
But
which
that's a
one are you
great
talking
one.
about? That's an interesting
I'm
one too.
talking about Joe Rogan had on someone who was an investigative journalist who went into the world of cobalt mines. And
Oh, I saw that. I played that one. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played that one the other day.
I must have missed that. Okay. I wasn't listening that day, so that's why.
Yeah.
Well, my comment on that is the fact that we can't really have an open conversation on that, and the fact that we want to continue to pretend and imagine in this imaginary world that there are no consequences to what we're doing, and the fact that it's I listened to most of that podcast, and the one thing that struck me was like the level of just like of not just corruption but obvious child labor laws probably that were all being violated no matter what country you come from.
Right.
Right. I don't know. But one of the interesting things that Rogan said, he said, do you think the people higher up on the ladder know about this? Like, have you ever thought to have a conversation with someone like Tim Cook or someone of that nature? And it's interesting because what you come back with is there's always this unclear, or maybe they know, maybe they don't know, but it came down to the fact that because they were African children, the concern was at a very tiny minimum. And I think that probably there needs to be more of I don't know how you do this, but there needs to be more of a volume push of children in Africa mining for elements with no protective gloves or masks or anything like that. That should be completely unacceptable.
Absolutely. For sure. I don't, that actually really does a good job of like showing the hypocrisy of our, what we call human rights or civil rights or the rights of people, the things that we're supposedly fighting for all the time and other places.
Right.
And that capitalism is supposed to deliver us from, and that we stand for freedom and justice, and we're for the welfare of people, and children shouldn't be working like this, and ethical production facilities and whatnot. But the reality is that and somebody made a good point on another channel about the fact that the rulers, the controllers, the tech people, the people that are pushing us into like this new, world of clean energy and fourth industrialization, kind of scenario. They're relying on these minerals. They're relying on the destruction of nature and destruction of people to deliver these minerals that power this like new, world we're supposed to be going into. That's supposed to be equitable and fair and right. It's just, it's so hypocritical and so insane, right? And it's happening all the time, right? We get our clothes and our fish and our food and our phones and all of our things from from places that don't really protect people very well, from people that are being exploited, of course. We get all these things from them, and but everybody's supposed to play nice and play by these rules that supposedly like we care about people, right? We actually really care about people so much. I'm not saying that we shouldn't care about people. I'm just saying it's just I think it was Richard Grove. You're right, but I mean it's a good point, and just the hypocrisy is everywhere. Like the hypocrisy of our military, that we care about human rights. But we don't. We don't care about human rights. And on top of that, the military-industrial complex is squeezing and sucking all of the money and the capital out of this country away from the people who most need it and could use it for escapades, that are across the world that are supposed to be. It's just insane. But people support this, all the time. I see people on Twitter all the time like, oh, F Putin and I love Ukraine and oh my God, we just need to stand with Ukraine. And it's like, dude.
Well, one last point I wanted to make was the fact that I find it very funny. It's like a twist of dark humor that all of these insults that whenever you bring up this subject, calling us hippies and stuff like that, that's what they're going to force us to become. They're going to force us to become hippies because we're not going to be able to afford any of this technology and all these rare elements. They're going to run these computers and laptops and iPads in the future. I mean, they're going to force us to live in the mud and hug the trees. That's what's going to happen.
Well, Jesus. Sorry, I just realized it's funny when I get kicked off of Rockfin when I'm in the middle of a stream. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just, that's the thing. Is this, whatever this grand plan is that people say are happening, and I don't doubt that it's happening, the Fourth Industrial Revolution or Agenda 2030 or the WEF, all that stuff, whatever is the big plan of the people in charge.
Right.
It's not a good plan. It doesn't make any sense, right? Because it doesn't make any sense because you gain all your power. You do gain your power from just sucking the energy or sucking the labor out of people, right? Or using and then skimming all the taxes and everything off of the the consumerism that we currently enjoy, right? All the money and the wealth that's flowing to Amazon and Bill Gates and all these people, the military industrial complex, it has to come from somewhere. And so if you take the purchasing power, it's like the capitalist conundrum of like, if you take the purchasing power away from people, then the economy is going to fail because there's no more purchasing power, right? What are poor people going to buy if they don't have any money to buy the stuff? And then you got to keep raising the prices because less people are buying stuff, and then inflation goes crazy, and then people are just like, well, screw that. I'm not even going to play the game. And then you're screwed because you are the controller of what? Of nothing. Because you don't have control anymore. So I don't, the plan is not, I don't doubt that the plan is in place or that it's going to come, but I don't think, it's a dumb plan. It's a really dumb plan. So the people that are really super worried about it coming our way I don't think they see how stupid the plan is. It's just, it's not going to work out just because of reasons of how the system is set up and how it works right now. And just like, so if you put a completely different system in place that kind of, I guess, looks like communism or tech communism, how is that going to work? Then it just becomes kind of a clunky system that doesn't work very well, aka whatever is supposed to be communism in other countries, right? Like the Russians were never communists. They were just an authoritarian under the guise of communism, right? Or China, and China actually switched. China and Russia now are capitalists. Now they're capitalist countries. They're not even really communist countries. They're just capitalists, but they're, maybe China has a little more authoritarianism and maybe they're still operating under the guise of communism, but it doesn't really work very well. If you shut down people's ability to earn and make a living and pay taxes or buy things or do all the things, then you don't really you're not controlling anything. There's nothing to control because nobody has anything and you don't either, so I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Does what I'm saying make sense?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying, and I think it's interesting, the system that we're all surrounding ourselves in this world of, like, the fact that the fact that when you say, well, there has to be a profit system, or when you think about it, well, no, there doesn't have to be a profit system if everyone's eating, everyone has shelter, everyone has the necessary things to live. It doesn't have to be this.
No,
this
it doesn't.
Profit system that we are currently it's our religion. I
Right.
mean, eventually we're going to have to come to terms with the fact that whatever we have is what we have, and there is no more profit on the earth. It's enjoy your air, enjoy your food, enjoy your sleeping, enjoy the time you have on earth. I'm sorry, there's no profits.
Right. Sorry, I'm getting a buzz. Yeah, man. And that's
Yeah, it's okay.
that's my other
So I
issue.
just wanted to say that.
Right on. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Sorry,
Right.
I'm getting a weird buzz, and that wasn't. It's something else. Something. Um, but we don't have to. Playing with chords. I got too much going on over here. Well, I don't want to spend a lot of time messing with the buzz, but hopefully it's not super annoying. Hello. Somewhere in here I can um maybe not so much profit, but profit sharing and maybe I don't know. I mean, there have been examples of what people call socialism or democratic socialism or, semi-communism or whatever you want to call it. There have been examples of these things actually being fairly successful, but the powers that be don't like it. Sorry, Rockman. I know things are weird. The powers that be don't like successful examples of countries providing for their people or people working together or not profit driven, competition driven things. The powers that be really don't like this. But there are examples all over the place of this actually being quite successful. I mean, easy example is post World War II Europe, where standard of living was quite high. Now it's going down because they're hacking away at it. But people had, there's still examples of it there. But, free education, free healthcare, long vacations, and right. That's called socialism. And so when journalists are out there telling you that they're telling you the truth and telling you that everything communism and everything socialism is bad, I have to wonder, do they truly believe these things, or are they just, or I don't know, or are there really into this propaganda that these things are really things that people like, right? Medicare, Social Security, people like this stuff. People want this stuff. Even elderly Trumpers who are glued to Fox TV, they love Medicare and they love Social Security. And if you tried to take it away from them, they'd be really upset about that. They really like their socialism. If you took away the fire department and the police department, you'd be really upset. They really like their socialism. So people that are out there telling you that communism is the bad and the socialism is the bad aren't very politically astute. They're actually quite stupid. But you keep on listening to these people. Y'all keep on listening to these people. Anyways, whatever. Got a little upset there. You keep on listening to these people, and the system keeps getting worse, and things keep getting worse, and they keep telling you that you don't have any power. You got to get outside of the system. There's no way you can change the system. And communism is bad, and socialism is bad. It just sounds like fucking Rush Limbaugh all day long to me. Some of these people, I admire their fortitude and their work, and I admire their expression of truth telling on some levels, but on other levels, I just feel like you guys are just Rush Limbaughing and Ronald Reaganing us all to death. So it's like, okay. I don't know. That's why I'm a lefty. That's why I'm and I will never be a righty. I will never be, there are some things I admire about Republicans in these days and times for specific reasons. Specifically because they're actually more prone to support lefty ideas than Democrats at the moment, because Democrats are like a supremely right-wing ideology right now. So You know, I only support Republicans in the sense that they actually put out somewhat lefty ideas, like being anti-war or questioning where, you know. Anyways, questioning defense budgets or whatever. It doesn't mean I'm a Republican or I even like them. I'm a lefty. I like lefty ideas. I like ideas that are truly compassionate to people. Is there a crackle in the audio, or is that just are you hearing a hum? Because I can fix that. Anyways, sometimes I get a little bit riled up. But there was a time, and to go back to the beginning of this video. Okay, well, I'll fix the crackle real quick, okay? Question is, will my audio show back up? Ha! There we go. I think it's back. There was a time when things were a little more fair for the people. And that, A, happened because of pressure from the people. So there was that, you know, point one. But if pressured enough, if the system decays enough, if people get angry enough, the government can actually respond to people. Is it always perfect? No. But they actually can respond to people in a way that's a bit more fair. And we lived under a, you know, when everybody's like, oh, America used to be so great, and we had unions and jobs, and yeah, people fought for that. People fought for that, right? That wasn't just, you know, it just didn't come out of nowhere. And all those things are lefty socialist ideas. Just like Chris Hedges is a lefty hero, a warrior. Anyways. But the left is in a shambles, and you know, if there's a day that you could say that the left is worse than the right, it would be today. And how did it get here? I don't know. We could spend a lot of time. Let me show this Joe Rogan video, not the one Fantomas was talking about. So this is a doctor who's saying that he doesn't take care of his health. He doesn't eat very well. He's not very well into fitness. He doesn't look like he's very into fitness. But you can't be deemed a healthy, you know, good person if you don't have your vaccine, and that's what he's trying to say. Because the vaccines are safe and effective, of course.
Of your immune system in other ways? Do you take probiotics? Are you cautious about your diet?
I'm not as cautious about my diet as I should be. I'm a junk foodaholic, actually.
Well, that seems like a terrible thing for your health.
It is a terrible thing for my health, and something my wife is working on.
But that seems ridiculous for someone who works with health.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, man?
Sometimes, man, I just don't get it right.
How often?
What?
How often?
How often do I steal a bag of chips or something like that?
Do you eat garbage?
I don't know. No, hopefully not every day, but you know,
Hopefully not every day.
maybe a couple of times a week.
Oh.
That's what with Rachel, my daughter with autism. That's like our thing is to go to the it's called the burger joint or to Shake Shack to get a cheeseburger. We'll sneak some fries.
So you
live in large, we call it.
Like that mouth pleasure so much, you're willing to sacrifice a little bit.
I am. I have to concede that's the case.
Well, there's, I don't have to tell you, but there's a large body of data that connects poor diet to a host of diseases. That seems like a crazy decision for a guy in your line of work.
There you go. Sometimes it's not all brain. It's
something else. But I mean, if you ate healthy food, I mean, the thing is, your body starts craving healthy food. You start feeling
no question,
results.
no question about it.
Do you take vitamins?
I don't take vitamins.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think they do. I don't think they're needed because most in the American.
Hold up. You don't think they're needed while you're eating junk food?
Well, hopefully I'm not only eating junk food.
Yeah,
right?
but you know, there's a large body of clinical research on the efficacy of vitamins, especially vitamins D, vitamins.
I have taken vitamin D for periods, but the recommendation of my internist. Yeah.
What about essential fatty acids, which are great for your brain, fish oil, all these different things that are fantastic for your
I'm not gonna argue with you.
What is going on with you, doctor?
You got it. You got it over me. Yeah.
You gotta listen, but you would have a much better.
All right, I'm only going to play that. But at the end, he goes, here, I'll play the end.
The hotel is a good gym. The hotel, if they have facilitate health.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Not chemicals or vaccines.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's in them?
What?
It's not. I mean, it's some sort of chemical, no?
No, they're antigens, right?
What's the fluid?
Macromolecules.
What's the liquid stuff?
Typically, it would be saline or salt water.
Right.
Anyways, I won't play any more than that. But let's see. From TLAV. From TLAV, in 2023, it will be nearly impossible to avoid facial recognition in the U.S. Yeah, this is bad. I want to say this is bad. I avoid facial recognition like the plague. I would never get I don't know. People do the facial recognition thing on their phones. I don't know why you would do that. I don't know why you would do that. Because I don't know why people have Alexas and, just willingly have things listening in on them. I mean, I know that we're being spied on all the time. I have a phone, so obviously. But having something in your house, apparently Roombas can do the same thing, but having all these technological gadgets that can record you and photograph you and monitor you in real time, and then having the facial recognition, will we be able to avoid it is the question. I don't know. I don't know if we'll be able to avoid it. I really try to avoid it myself as much as I can. It's hard. I have a phone, yes, and I have a computer. Yeah, John Glad, breathing in the air and drinking tap water is extremely bad. Right. Well, he says the guy, going back to that guy, he said I don't think vitamins do anything for really. Really? Okay. It's interesting the advice that we're getting around health these days, or around certain sicknesses these days. I probably might have to leave YouTube to talk more about that. But going back to the facial recognition, this is one of the things. This and the robots. It doesn't look good for humanity. It doesn't look good for humanity. At the end of empires, generally people start to do things, get really wild. So this might just be the wildest end of an empire we ever seen. They already have robots that can, run down the road and carry weapons and launch grenades, right? Like so. Did they? I'm just a question. Did YouTube stop my video when I was showing that? Because I think the other day they were saying, "We stopped your video while you're showing a Joe Rogan clip." So maybe they did that again. I don't know, because of copyright. Maybe. That's why I tried to not play. They stopped it, did they? Oh, geez. Yeah. Well, if you're on Rockfin, you could have caught all of that, I guess. I don't think I'll have a strike, but I think I'll get a... I think they'll tell me to, don't do that or something. Yeah, what are we going to do about all the robots that show up, that start walking down the street the next time, I don't know. That's what I'm worried about in 2023 or 2024 is that, thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. What I'm worried about is, the next time you call the cops, it's just a car full of robots. Or as one cop driving a car full of robots, and the robots get out to knock on your door and tell you that you're now under arrest for fill in the blank, and what are you going to do? I don't know. Or, a group of 5 to 10 robots walk down the street and tell you that, don't come out of your house until further notice. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows how it's going to play out, but it frightens the living daylights out of me. And the fact that all those things are completely operational, already. They're just waiting to, throw back the curtain and go but da-da, right? I don't know. All right. You know what, guys? That's it for me. I appreciate your eyes, your ears, your eyes, your conscience, however that goes. Your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. Thank you. I did get a Rockfin tip, I think. Hello. I got a Rockfin tip from Urban Hermit. Belated Christmas coffee. Thank you, Urban Hermit. I appreciate you. Did I get any coffees from buymeacoffee.com? Yes, I did. Realize. And you know what? Realize, actually, inspired by you, I actually have a song called Realize, which is not released yet, but probably this year. But, anyways, I thought it was a cool name for a song, Realize. Thank you for the coffee. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow. And the same time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until next time, peace.